Dirkens here. Thanks so much for joining me for tonight's college football recap. Now, I know some of you sitting there, y'all indignant and stuff going, well, you should have done this last night. Well, last night I was with Grandma and Papa Dirkens and hanging out in the Smoky Mountains with them. So, go die somewhere. No, I was hanging out with them. It was a little family vacation. So, Bobby Dirkens has to take some time away. But it was a very exciting weekend in college football, and I just thought I'd talk about it for just a few minutes. If you're new here, hey there to you. Hit the subscribe button. It's dangling around over here, and if you sniff around, you'll see right below it, you got this little bell. Don't always work, but it's supposed to notify you. It'll let you know. It'll be like, hey, Bobby's putting up video right now. It's always world-class stuff. Hit that, and it'll let you know. Hit the thumbs up if you love it. Please hit the thumbs down if you hate it, because it hurts my little heart, and I'll go wandering off into the world of nothing and stop doing this. No, I'm kidding. Even I think the thumbs down are hilarious. This weekend was very, very interesting. We saw some teams beat. We saw some teams play more competitive than what they normally do. We saw some teams like Oklahoma finally get loss number 2 in a row. And if we're all lucky for the college football world, they will truly go away because they've been nothing but embarrassing in the playoff system. So let's go ahead and start with the other night. Let me see. First game, I'm just going to do some top 25 stuff. Friday night, BYU played Louisiana Tech. They manhandled them, beat them 45-14. Now, here's the thing about BYU. I don't care your feelings on the school and blah, blah, blah. Is BYU for real? They actually look like a solid football team. I don't know. I really don't know. I think that they're not bad. I don't think they're not a bad football team, but I can't say that they're an elite football team. But they definitely are beating a lot of people and dominating the ball game. So no matter who you're playing, as long as you dominate them, you're doing a good job. Move on into Saturday. Now, I know this game was last night. I know there's certain people critiquing this game. Clemson won the game 41-23 over Virginia. Clemson was a 28.5 point favorite. There's a lot of people who's really enjoying that they didn't win by 28 points. That just lets you know how good Clemson really is that people's really celebrating out in the street. Did you see? Did you see? They only won by 18 points. Yeah, we know. We know. You go pull for your little team who probably makes it to the Capital One Bowl if they're lucky. But Trevor Lawrence, 329 yards, 3 touchdowns. Travis Etienne had 5 receptions for 114 yards, 1 touchdown. That was ridiculous. Frank Latson comes out, has some great plays. Amari Rodgers comes out, has some great plays. Brisset gets a sack. Guys, it's just a good time. Moving on, Alabama played a team who was paying their coach way too much money for the results that they're getting. They beat A&M, that is Texas A&M, not doo-doo A&M from a little school, on down the road. Not Martha State A&M, not NC A&M. No, Texas A&M. They beat them by 4 touchdowns. I just believe that Texas A&M is just basically useless at this point. They beat them 52-24. Mac Jones threw for 434 yards and 4 touchdowns. So for some of you out there with that itch in your drawers going, I just hope that Mac Jones does bad so we can get Bryce Young in here. So far, you're not getting your wish. Florida beat South Carolina 38-24, but let's just go ahead and be honest with ourselves. South Carolina, even with mistakes, played better than what we thought, and Florida didn't play as well as we thought they would play. Let's be honest with ourselves. I know some of you are but Florida still won the ball game. Georgia, I had a field day with this one. I put up a video about this. Go watch it. I did pick on Georgia fans, all the Georgia fans who hate Stetson Bennett. And Stetson Bennett, probably the best quarterback you got on your team. You don't want to believe it, but probably is. Georgia hammers Auburn 27-6. Next. Texas A&M is not the only team in the state of Texas that sucks. Look no farther than the University of Texas. The Longhorns lose to TCU. We're not talking about the TCU of years ago. Lord, no. We're talking about the current mediocre TCU team. I lost to them yesterday 33-31. And one of the favorite things I love to do, and I'm using it because this is his last year. Remember when Sam Ehlinger said in the Sugar Bowl, where they beat a Georgia team where half of them sat out for the NFL reasons, where he got the mic and went, "We're back," and it was really, really annoying. Yeah, that must be back to old Sammy Boy. Them losing to TCU. Another team went down. Tulsa beat UCF. I was surprised at that. I really, really was. UCF's been playing quite well. But here's the deal. They didn't play well enough to beat Tulsa. Next, North Carolina. North Carolina struggled with Boston College. They did win the game 26-22. The big numbers to focus on is not Sam Howell. It's Phil Jerkovic from Boston College. He threw for 313 yards. Now, granted, he threw it 56 times, but he did throw for 313 yards. But they still lost. Poor old Jeff Scott still can't get a win down there. Well, he did get one, but it's not doing too good for him. Yesterday, he lost to number 15 Cincinnati. They win the game 28-7. Desmond Ridder is youngin from Cincinnati, was 16 of 26, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big deal for him. Next game, now this eyebrow raiser. Remember, how many people remembers 1 week ago when LSU lost to first game Mike Leach and KJ Costello? You remember that? He set a record for most passing yards in the game at SEC. I remember it. You remember it? I remember it. My mama remembers it. She's way out there. My wife's next door. She remembers it. My kid, he doesn't pay attention to crowd, and he even remembers it. This week, they bested themselves. They lost to Arkansas. 21-14, just proving that Mike Leach, though snarky, though funny to watch, and though he can drive up a lot of yards, he is a very inconsistent coach. He should spend more time focusing on consistency than being snarky. Might help you, Mike. All right, let me see. If you're watching this later on, this is a live stream. I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna say may there to a couple of people. We got P Digits. We got Tyler Jackson, may there to you. Ray 7337, may there to you. Sean D. Mark number 4276 is in here, may there to all of you. Getting back to the scores. Or for a few teams, the nails in their coffin. Sponograph, may there to you. Byrick, this week going to fly by. May there to you, buddy, you're right. Next up, Oklahoma State, coached by Chuba Hubbard, because you remember Mike Gundy doesn't run his team anymore. They even took his hair. They took everything from it, even $1 million a year, I think. But led by Chuba Hubbard as head coach and running back, they beat Kansas 47-7. Mike Gundy is now their janitor. All right, next up, Iowa State. They did the Lord's work this week. They went ahead and put Oklahoma out of their misery. 2 weeks in a row, Oklahoma loses. I've been hearing about this Spencer Rattler kid. I'm not saying he's not talented, but I've been hearing about him all the time, about how great he is and how he's going to do this. He's managed to lose 2 ball games in a row. You can talk about that one play where the ref didn't call pass interference, and it was pass interference. They did grab that wide receiver, but I hate to tell you this, just listen to me, hate to tell you this, That was not the only play in the game. Next up, the LSU team that beat us so bad last year. And I'm saying that because LSU fans go, well, we beat you so bad last year. And the majority of that team, including coaches, are gone. You're now number 20, and you beat Vanderbilt 41-7. Vanderbilt, fantastic doctors, sucks as football players, but you beat them. Next up, Tennessee played Missouri. Tennessee going 2-0. Somebody told their OC that you have Eric Gray on your team. Why in the blankety blank aren't you using him? And yesterday you used him a little more, 16 carries, 105 yards. Eric Gray, if I was calling plays for Tennessee, 60% of the calls would be going to Eric Gray in some form or fashion. They did win 35-12 over Missouri. Congratulations, you're 2-0. This one was very odd for me because if you don't know me, I had some run-in with some Pittsburgh fans. I'm not saying all Pittsburgh fans are bad, but the ones I ran into were quite horrible. So, you know I'm not an NC State fan. I think Dave Doran is one of those guys who writes a letter to the HOA about the little old lady next door who's decrepit and she's a widow because she did not get her trash can behind her house in the allotted amount of time. But I would have to say it was fun to see Pittsburgh lose. A lot of people, even people I love with all my heart, has been talking about how Pittsburgh they're a good football team, and NC State just beat them. So just knock them out of that. So hopefully we can get this shenanigans that Pittsburgh is a good football team off the table. Next, Memphis, Mike Norvell's former home. By the way, Florida State got their first win yesterday against a team who nobody even knows what their mascot is. So congratulations to Florida State and the new level of suck that they've reached. So SMU, they go 4-0, got Shane Buechele. Maybe Texas, you should have kept him and sent the "we're that" on down to SMU. Maybe be doing a little better. Y'all are probably using the same formula at picking the quarterback that Georgia has been using. The same one that lost Justin Fields and that had Stetson Bennett sitting like at third string. I think y'all are using the same formula, same process. But remember, you're professionals. You know way more than idiots like me. And you get paid millions of dollars to piss away talent. So, I mean, what do I know? But in this, SMU wins ball games. Buechele, 32 of 35, or 45, 474 yards and 3 touchdowns. Congratulations to you. SMU, Reggie Robertson, you're the man. 5 receptions, 243 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't care if they're all a bunch of long plays. My God, that's a lot of yardage. And we'll see who's in here. I will be doing my previews tomorrow and Tuesday. Let me see who's in here. Phonographs in here, may there to you. Byrick, my there, it's good to see you. Kevin Freeland, good to see you, may there to you. Carolina Jackpot. Carolina, what do I owe the honor for you to show up? He said, I've always said that Pitt is the wet fart of the ACC. You're right. I don't like Pitt being in the ACC. I don't like it at all. I never have liked it, never pulled for them, never thought they were a good ad. I think that them in Syracuse was an awful ad to the ACC. It didn't make sense. Virginia Tech makes sense. That was a good move. Virginia Tech and Miami at the time when they were brought in made sense. Bringing in Pitt and bringing in Syracuse, that was a basketball move at the time. Anyway. All right, well, listen, it's good to see all of you in here. If you're brand new here, hit the subscribe button, that little notification bell under there. Just go ahead and ding it. Ain't going to hurt you. Ain't going to hurt you at all. Danny D-Rock, Mahaffey, may there to you. Jordan, may there to you. Y'all, I'm about to close this sucker down. I'm going to go to bed and let my wife look at me and go, yeah, I remember, remember why I got you, why I married you. And I'll take my shirt off and I'll go, this is why. She loves it every time. Let me see. Hold on one second. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Surely someone has told you you're not helping Clemson fans. If not, I just told you so. If Clemson fans bases what they look like off of me, they're in poor shape. I just pull for whoever I pull for, so don't know what you were trying to do there, but okay. I appreciate you taking the time to type that out. Jordan says, big week, you're right. Dave Mendoza says, Georgia fans are bragging how they have 19 5 stars, 64 4 stars, and the rest 3 stars. Yeah, they do that. Last national championship, 1980. Yeah, you're right, Jordan. Sam Ellinger is saying, we're black. That was one of the most repulsive moments in college football. Just saying. All right, well, listen, I'm out of here, y'all. I'm going to go lay down. I need to go clear my head. I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up, I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.